our podcast last night know that we were talking about the gambling issue on Twitch. This has been a thing for a long time. This is not new. Prominent streamers such as XQC, Trainwrecks, and many others have been playing gambling, however you want to call it, on Twitch. And many people have different opinions on this issue, right? Some streamers have called for it to be banned. Others, it's their main source of content. Been discussed for a long time, but it got hotter this week after several things happened. One streamer came out and admitted that he scammed other streamers and members of his community for about $100,000 or more. He told them he needed the money for a serious family medical issue, and then he admitted he used it for gambling and he lost it all. Prominent streamers such as Pokimane and Mizkif and Devin Nash came out and said, basically, we don't want to use this platform until you ban gambling. Kind of like, not blackmail, but you get what I mean. They're making a strong statement. They're saying that, in their opinion, gambling is ruining the platform, and we don't feel comfortable on it until you fix this issue. Twitch did issue a statement today, and I want to talk about this issue, both my opinion on it and then what Twitch did about it and my opinion about what Twitch is doing about it. So this has been ongoing for a long time, right? This has been going on for at least, a year? Gambling streams have been really popular. We've seen clips of streamers winning or losing hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. Hey, Zelda, how are you? On stream, we're talking about gambling on Twitch, that whole issue. And people feel very strongly about it on both sides. My opinion on gambling in general, not even on Twitch, is it's something that humans have been doing for ever, and it's something that is better off legalized and regulated, and so it can be done in a safe space with safeguards rather than in shady, dark back rooms where, if you don't pay up, bad things can happen in general. So that's my opinion on gambling in general, and the legality of it, the morality of it. It's kind of one of those things where I don't really do it. I've gone to a casino a couple times in my life, spent a couple $100s, and that's it. Not something that I actively participate in or enjoy that much. Can be fun in limited bursts, but obviously also a huge risk, because obviously you can lose lots of money. You can develop an addiction because of the risk reward aspect of it, and so on. But a lot of the controversy comes from a lot of the viewers on Twitch are legally at least over the age of 13, but a lot of the viewers on Twitch are minors, are children, and under being influenced by different streamers on Twitch. And that's one of the concerns by some, is that some of these streamers are not exactly gambling responsibly or teaching lessons that should be taught to kids 13, 14, 15, 16 years old. I mean, you don't want XQC parenting your kid, right? But that goes to a whole nother issue. Tabaka, thanks for the sub, man. Appreciate it. I'll do the push-ups right after this rant. That's the whole issue, right? It becomes a parenting issue. Do you know what your kids are watching? Do you know what your kids are doing? Are you instilling the values that you want in them, and so on? It also becomes an issue with advertisers. Do a lot of brands want their ad run on a gambling stream? And some of the biggest channels on Twitch are gambling streams, like XQC, like Trainwrecks. And there's been a lot of controversy between all these streamers over the last week. They're suddenly outing each other for DMs and all that drama and garbage, and I'm not going to get into it. But this is what I will say. Twitch streamers absolutely need to do better as the faces of the platform. I think they do a very poor job representing the platform, representing the gaming and streaming industry. And it's become too much like reality TV. I know a lot of people love that stuff. A lot of people love reality television and Jersey Shore and all that stuff. But in my opinion, when you're one of the prominent faces of a platform, you have some level of responsibility, right? You are an influencer. That's what that word means. And you have a responsibility to, not mislead people, to be honest, at the very least. And all this drama and crap that's going on amongst Twitch's top streamers, I think is a bad look. Not Twitch's fault necessarily that these people are doing this, but it's not enjoyable for me, and I think we need to do better as a platform and as a collective community. And this is not isolated to just gaming, and this happens in every industry pretty much. Anyway, that rant aside, Twitch finally made a decision about this. This has been going on forever, and Twitch has been dead silent. Now that all this drama and scams have come out. By the way, my point about the advertisers was not all advertisers want their ads running on gambling streams, and some brands don't want to work with Twitch because of the gambling thing. There may be other brands that do want to work with Twitch because of the gambling thing. I don't know. I'm not part of those conversations. But Twitch finally came out with a statement today, and I'm going to pull it up on screen and I'll read it to you. Whoops, wrong website. They put this out on Twitter just a few minutes ago. Where did it go? Okay, so this was Twitch's statement on gambling. What the TLDR of it is that the gambling is basically banned on Twitch. Because gambling content on Twitch has been a big topic of discussion in the community, and it's something we've been actively reviewing since our last policy update. Again, I think this took way too long. There's no way that it took this long for them to actually figure this out. Today we want to update you on our plans. We will prohibit sharing links or referral codes to all sites like slots, roulette, and dice games, blah, 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 blah. People have circumvented these rules to cause harm to the community. They're updating the policy on October 18th to prohibit gambling sites that include slots, roulette, and dice games that aren't licensed either in the US or other jurisdictions that provide sufficient consumer protection. These sites include blah, 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 blah. And we continue to allow websites that focus on sports betting, fantasy sports, or poker. So gambling is effectively banned on Twitch effective October 18th. Obviously, I want to hear from you guys and hear what you think about this. They finally made a decision, which is good. But I think, yes, Zelda, exactly what you're saying right there. This has been going on for a very, very, very long time, and there's no way that you can convince me that Twitch actually took this long to figure this issue out. They have attorneys on retainer, right? If you contacted their attorneys and they're like, hey, we need to know about the legality and the risks and so on of gambling on a live streaming platform, which, to be fair, is a very new age issue, right? There's not going to be court rulings for them to look back on that are exactly this issue. But there's no way that their attorneys couldn't get this figured out and give them written guidance within like a month. So they've been sitting on this for a long time. And my fear is, indecision is always a bad look. So they were indecisive about this for what, a year? A year, probably? And now, because it's blowing up in their face, all of a sudden they're swooping in. They're like, oh, yeah, we're banning it. We're banning it. So it feels to me like they were actively allowing it and okay with it for a long time. And now suddenly they're not, which is also a bad look. Because, like, if you were okay with it yesterday and for the past year, and now you're not, what changed your opinion? And, like, again, I'm not a gambling streamer. I don't like gambling streams. I don't watch them. I have zero vested interest or stake in it. If they came out and said we are allowing gambling streams because of X, Y, and Z, and this is our opinion, I would be reporting the same thing to you. My opinion on the issue doesn't change. My concerns are primarily how it affects kids, which I'm not a parent. I frankly can't speak to that, but that comes to mind for me. And you have to, again, as Chica said in chat, you have to know what your kids are watching. That's your job as a parent. But that does come to my mind as a platform. What are you exposing kids to? I've heard suggestions that maybe what Twitch needs is content like age restrictions, you know, like you have to prove that you're over 18 and then you can watch whatever you want on the platform. And then gambling streams could be allowed to those people, you know, because they're consenting adults. It's not what they're doing, but I've heard that suggested before as a safeguard for minors and kids. But that's my problem here is Twitch took this long to address it. And it's like, there's no way that for the past year or so, they were just like working towards this, that they were always opposed to it. My feelings are they've gotten tons of revenue off of it up till now. And knowing that some of their top streamers, were streaming this, they didn't want to rock the boat. They didn't want to, you know, tell XQC and Trainwrecks and some of their top streamers that they can't do this until it became a bigger issue for them. Then it became a bigger issue for them not to take action than it would be to take action, right? That's when they did it. So this isn't like a, hey, we don't want this on our platform thing. If that was their case, if that was the case, they would have done this like 8-9 months ago. They allowed it this long, and I think that's a bad look. I think they take way too long to make these decisions. As a former mayor, you know, I know about the decision-making process. It can take time. Not usually a year. Usually maybe a few weeks, maybe a couple months tops. You know, you got to talk to your attorneys and do research and think it through, and not this long. So I think Twitch has basically changed their mind. They're jumping into this way too late. And I think it's, you know, a lot of people are praising this. A lot of people are praising this decision. They're saying, thank God Twitch did the right thing. I'm seeing that all over Twitter. A lot of people feel that way. And I'm not saying that it's the wrong decision even. My problem is the way the decision was made. That's what's bothering me. Is it again shows the indecisiveness of Twitch executives and their governing mechanisms that they use, their decision-making mechanisms. And I wish that they would just do these. If they had addressed this 8-9 months ago, the issue wouldn't have gotten as big as it is today, right? They're constantly in like reaction mode and damage control mode instead of being proactive about the management of their platform. And I think that that's an issue. And I think a lot of people know that, and that's why Twitch doesn't have a great reputation, even though they're the leader in the space. So this is going to go on YouTube later. If you're watching it on YouTube, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and come join us on Twitch for these types of discussions. I'm going to stop recording this video, but then we got way more content coming, so don't go anywhere, everybody watching live. I have to blow my nose though, so one sec.